Hey guys, we're back for our spoiler video for the Batman. So let's talk. We got the dogs back too. They're ready to talk about the Batman. All right. So today we're finally going to be reviewing the Batman with spoilers. So if you didn't see our spoiler-free review, it is right there. And if you don't want to be spoiled, make sure you come back after you see the Batman, because today we're pulling no punches, just like Robert Pattinson's Batman wasn't pulling any punches.
I am vengeance.
So right off the top, who we didn't talk about in our spoiler-free review was Paul Dano's Riddler. And Matt, what did you think of Paul Dano's Riddler?
I thought he was way different than Jim Carrey in Batman Forever. Way different take on the Riddler. Not a bad take. It was pretty cool. I feel like you got a lot of inspiration from the Joker in The Dark Knight, because like back to all the videos he did kind of reminded me of that scene with the camcorder in The Dark Knight when the Joker was saying he's gonna kill a certain amount of people every night until Batman takes his mask off.
People were gonna die.
Yeah, so I thought of that. But it was really interesting what they did with the Riddler. Very cool. I liked it a lot. I wish we got to see a little bit more of the Riddler, but again,
I just felt like there was so many characters in there, and I also liked that we didn't see him without his mask until he was sitting at that diner at the very end. But Paul Dano was great. I knew Paul Dano had this gear after I saw him in There Will Be Blood from 2007. Paul Dano is one of our great actors, character actors. He knows how to play a character. I was very excited for this casting. I knew he would nail it, and he definitely didn't let me down. Which brings us to another character, Colin Farrell's Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah.
Or the Penguin.
Again, another interesting take. He was not a penguin. Like,
Danny DeVito's.
Right, yep.
No, this was more like in the animated series, Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah. He was somebody to fear, really. Again, I couldn't find Colin Farrell in that makeup. They did an amazing job with him.
I thought it would be more noticeable with his voice, but even that was covered up very well. A phenomenal performance by Colin Farrell. I really can't say a bad thing about him. It was great.
Yeah. I
also didn't know, I don't know if anyone else knew this going in, that John Turturro was playing Carmine Falcone, and that's who Oswald Cobblepot is. That's his right-hand man. I had no idea that Carmine Falcone or John Turturro was going to actually even be in this movie, so I was really excited actually when he popped up on my screen. Especially right now I'm watching Severance and he's in that, so it's really cool that to see him in the return of the character Carmine Falcone. Which brings me to Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. Or Selena Kyle, which I loved. I really did love her.
She was good. Yep, I liked her a lot. I thought her and Robert Pattinson had good chemistry. I mean, that's something you always want out of these movies, is the bat and the cat. That's something you always want. But I thought she did great. She definitely played the role well. I don't think there's a bad Catwoman today. Well, we're not going to talk about the Halle Berry movie.
No.
I've never seen that, and I won't. But in a Batman movie, I don't think anyone has performed as Catwoman bad.
No, and I think she really nailed the look. This felt to me a lot like Arkham City's Catwoman, as far as like the clothes and stuff. Obviously, in that she has the goggles on her head. This time she had more of like a ski mask with the little ears.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
they lead more into like the cat burglar kind of thing. And I thought she was great, and how they played off that she was Carmine Falcone's illegitimate daughter. That was another little twist that they threw in there, and I appreciated that. I thought it was an awesome twist. Really added more character depth, and really to how the whole city is intertwined in the seedy underworld of Gotham City. Like, this Gotham City, we didn't say in the spoiler-free review either, is very dark and grimy, like very New York City-esque, right down to having Gotham Square Garden.
Yeah.
And a bunch of actually, it's used in the big ending scene too.
Yep.
No, I really liked that. No, it was awesome.
You know what I really liked? How Batman was a detective in this movie.
Yes.
Like, they really hammered that home, because everyone always says, oh, the great detective, he doesn't solve any mysteries in any movie. This one, he's at every crime scene, and there's just multiple scenes where he's just He's scanning stuff with all his gadgets. He's got the contacts that he gives to Selena Kyle to do some recon work in the 40 degree or 44
below
or something like that. Yeah, that club, and it's just really cool to see him actually being a detective.
Oh, this is totally a detective noir mystery Batman movie. If you were saying that you never got to see that detective Batman movie that you wanted to see, this is it.
This is it.
Full-blown detective noir Batman. You're not going to get it anywhere else. It jarred me in the beginning that, like, I did see in the trailer, that was the trailer I saw when James Gordon brings him into the crime scene. But that fact that was, like, the second scene in the movie, and, like, James Gordon already trusts him because he's 2 years in as Batman.
Yeah.
And it's crazy seeing how they just let him right in. Like, you know, he's a vigilante, but the police really trust him right out of the gate in this. You know, he is basically their partner, and it's awesome. Like, I ate that up. It was such a unique take. We already booked our tickets. We're going back to see it actually on the day you guys are seeing this review because we can't get enough of this movie.
Oh, yeah, it was so good.
It's been on our mind since we saw it. It's so good. It's just... They really nailed the tone, and they really nailed the score. It was an amazing score in this movie.
Oh, yeah, the score, incredible. And that's another thing that kind of segues into my next point is... I kind of got like a horror movie vibe every once in a while, especially with the score and the way they were taking the shots of like Batman walking up to people. He just walked very slow, and then the score would come in the background, and he'd just be quiet. He wouldn't talk. He just makes eye contact and just walks very slowly. And at first I was like, this is weird, but then it works. I thought it was really cool. The way he moved around. Everything
works tonally with this Batman movie, and that's why I've been we said what we said about Robert Pattinson, but as I've been sleeping on it and I've thought about it, really honestly, my wife said to me this morning the ending line ties into what he is, how he has to get better, just like the city has to get better. He's not a perfect human being. That's why he's so down and dour and unhappy and depressed. Look where he lives, and look at how the city is. He's one of them. And when he said that he needs to change, and Gotham needs to change, it really tied the movie together, and it really gave me a different appreciation for Robert Pattinson's Batman. Looking back on it after I've had more time to simmer on everything and really gather my thoughts. And, obviously as the years will go by, I will think more on what I think of him. This is right out of the gate thoughts.
Right,
but
yeah.
Really, everything worked as a unit. Everything worked perfectly, and I loved it. I really loved it. It's only going to get better.
I'm still sticking with 10 out of 10. You know what? Hold that thought. So, yeah, I'm still sticking with my 10 out of 10. I actually ran out today during work, and I picked up the Lego Batmobile, because this has been out for a little while, and I looked at it, I had it in my hands at Target. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like the movie. I don't know if I'm going to like the Batmobile. And then the first 5 seconds of this Batmobile being on the screen in the movie, I was like, yeah, I'm going tomorrow. I'm picking up that Lego set because that Batmobile is awesome.
It actually might be my favorite Batmobile. First of all, I'm a sucker for muscle cars, and they just put a rocket ship on the back of a muscle car.
Well, yeah, it's got the big block motor in the back, so it's making all those V8 sounds. And if you're into the off-road world, it's almost like a pre-runner truck. It's got all it's lifted off the ground with big tires, and it's just got all the suspension, so he's jumping, and it's just riding so smooth over everything. It's really awesome.
Yeah, that scene, that chase scene that we talked about, the spoiler-free review, and why I said it's amazing. Just the fact that it's raining, and it's dark out, and the only light is from the fire, and the lights on the highway is incredible. The burnt orange light. They got the colors right. And then when the Batmobile jumps through that fucking fire, if you don't feel that in your fucking chest, I don't think you have a heart. It blew my mind.
This is going to be a very good 4K. I cannot wait for this 4K.
Yeah, we saw this in IMAX, and we're running out to see Dolby because we want to see the dark colors be a little bit darker and have some more HDR for us to see. But yeah, Matt got this Batmobile Lego set, which is really incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to build this.
Yeah, once we finish this, we'll put it on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and show you what it looks like. But yeah, that was incredible. I just loved Carmine Falcone and all his goons, and how the city was they were just all corrupted by him and everything, right down to the DA and all the police.
Yeah.
It really shows, again, like, we know about James Gordon and how, he's not a corrupt cop.
You know what I did find weird, speaking of the DA and all that stuff? There was no Harvey Dent in this movie.
Yes, that brings me...
Is there a reason for that?
No, and actually this kind of brings me... I'm not a comic book expert, neither is Matt, but I watched recently on HBO The Long Halloween Part 1 and 2 that I believe came out last year. And I really actually thought that this was what this movie was based on. I thought we were going to get a Harvey Dent origin story in here, especially when the movie started on Halloween. So I was like, oh, okay, they're doing the Long Halloween story. Because, like I said, I didn't watch the trailer, so I thought that that's what they were doing.
Right.
And it turns out that's not what they were doing. Maybe they have to save him for the next movie. And somebody else we know they're saving for the next movie.
So at the very end, you do see a glimpse of the Joker. He's sitting next to the Riddler. Well, they're not sitting next to each other. They're in Arkham Asylum, and they're roomies. And they started having a conversation, and it looks like they're booting up for a sequel, for sure.
Definitely. And I really think that they're going to go through with it. Last I checked, as of today, which is March 2nd, 2022, it's not confirmed. Matt Reeves is in negotiations, and they haven't confirmed the actor of the Joker. It's not on IMDb yet, as of today, so I don't want to speculate. There are rumors out there, you can look them up for yourselves, but if that's who they're going with, I'm excited because it seemed like he was a good Joker based on the few lines of dialogue that we got.
Yeah, no, he definitely, it was kind of like the game Joker, like from the Arkham Asylum games. That was the vibe I was getting.
I was getting a lot of Arkham Asylum vibes through this whole movie. So I feel like you got a lot of influence from that. The way that all the villains are kind of like mingling with each other, and then it really felt like it's not just one villain. It's a world of villains that all intertwine in the same Gotham City, and that's how it felt. And Batman was violent. Like, he doesn't kill, but he beats the shit out of people. And you really don't see that side of Batman because, he's just an angry person. That's what I was saying about Bruce Wayne, is the way Robert Pattinson played him. Like, at the beginning, the way he was talking to Alfred, like, basically how he said he's not his father.
Yeah.
I was like, that hurt me because...
They came out right out of the gate with that.
Yeah, like, he's just pissed off at the world. And Andy Serkis was a very, very good Alfred. A very loving man, it seemed like, who really cared.
Yep.
But he's not like the butler like in the old ones. Like he's the badass Alfred who taught Batman how to fight.
Who's from the original four?
Michael Gough.
Michael Gough?
Yeah, he was more of like an actual butler, whereas Alfred feels more like he was like, because they have somebody else who was working there who did all the cooking and cleaning. Alfred was more of like, he raised him to be Batman. Alfred, like in the Pennyworth show, is, he was in the army. He's a trained killer, and he trained Batman. But Batman has a code, and I really liked how they showed his code with Selina Kyle, because Selina Kyle wanted to kill everyone who really ruined her life, and Batman said basically that's not the way to go, because you'll hurt yourself and not just him.
Yeah,
and I love that. I really did. There's just so much good in this movie. It
was, again, there's 10 out of 10. You have to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't said anything negative, and I gave it a 9 out of 10, and I've been, I took a point off because, like I said in earlier videos about Christian Bale, I felt like there's 3 characters that you have to play, and I felt like Robert Pattinson only played 2 of the 3. He didn't play the playboy Bruce Wayne that we know that Christian Bale could do, Michael Keaton could do, Val Kilmer could do, and Ben Affleck could do, but he didn't do that. He played him down and sour and kind of emo-y the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think I'm at fault for thinking that. I think that that's just what they were going for, and they should be commended for it. So maybe that's where I'm wrong. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen this movie yet, make sure you run out and see it. We're running out again to see it in Dolby. So please check this one out in theaters. Matt, you have anything else you want to say?
It was a fantastic movie. It's definitely going to give The Dark Knight a run for its money in my book. I'm placing this one very high, and I can't believe that because I just came in with no expectations. I was like, it's going to be a Batman movie, it'll be okay, it won't be terrible. And I like everything, but I really, really liked this movie. It was really good. I can't wait to see it again. It was a bit long, but I think it's because we sat in shitty seats at the theater.
Yeah, the guy next to us literally snuck in beer and he's drinking a 6-pack.
Well, there's no problem with that. He just didn't share with us. I'm saying that we sat in the uncomfortable seat. I'm just spoiled with the Dolby theaters now. I yell at him every time he gets non-Dolby seats. But anyway, yeah, you have to see. I mean, if you're watching the spoilers, I hope you saw it already. But if not, I hope we kind of pushed you in the direction to see it, because this is a must for any Batman fan.
Yeah, Batman fan, and even just a fan of movies, because it's a beautiful looking movie. We didn't really get into the shots and everything, but so well shot.
The shots, oh my god, yeah.
What about the shot on top of the Batmobile as he's driving? I'm a sucker for shots like that.
Now that we're getting into editing these videos and stuff, I'm like, oh my god. Like, this must have took years to edit this movie. Like, there's so many little scenes, and the way they go from focus to out of focus, or out of focus to in focus, and
until you've actually worked with cameras and editing, you don't appreciate how amazing that is.
Yeah, they definitely
we have a new appreciation here for making movies in general, no matter how low budget or high budget they are.
The film side of the movie, not just the script.
It's harder to give something a bad review when you know how much effort it really takes to make it. And, this one, a ton of effort all around. Great movie. Please run out and see it. And guys, thanks for checking out our spoiler video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends.